It is 11 o'clock, hour number 2 of this Football Friday. Appreciate Coach Wimp Sanderson. Joins us each and every Friday. Gave us the blue plate for this week, which he's taking Tennessee and the 13.5 against Syracuse over in Atlanta.
And he likes Iowa State versus South Dakota?
Is it South Dakota
or North Dakota?
North Dakota?
South Dakota.
It's one of the Dakotas.
South Dakota. Is that the Jackrabbits?
That's the Coyotes.
Coyotes.
What are the Jackrabbits? South Dakota State.
That's South Dakota State, yeah.
I get my Dakotas mixed up.
So you get your Dakotas mixed up. I got my New Mexico's mixed up.
That's right. Las Cruces?
That's the hold on. That's the Lobos. No, it's the Aggies.
Dang it.
So close,
he
Pat.
can't do it. He can't do it.
Is it the Aggies?
Yes.
Okay, Lobos in Albuquerque.
Yes.
That's New Mexico State.
Yeah. No, that's New Mexico.
No, that's New Mexico.
Okay. Mike Rodak joins us now. Please bail me out, Mike. Do you have that problem with New Mexico State, remembering those two? Please tell me you do.
I occasionally do. Like, if you ask me where Richard Pitino was, that was New Mexico, right?
Yes.
Okay. Diego Pavia, New Mexico State.
Yeah.
Yes.
Jerry Kill, New Mexico
2
State.
for 2. All right.
Okay.
See, that's all I know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bronco Mendenhall, New Mexico.
But I'm really going to blow your mind here. What conference is Maryland in?
Big Ten. That's always one where I would have said the ACC.
See, that's
Like,
me.
just
That's me. That's
in my
why.
head.
See, I almost had you there. But yeah, in my head, I still think of Maryland in the ACC, not the Big Ten.
I still can't come to grips with Stanford. And Stanford's the only team. Stanford they're Pac-12.
Yeah.
They'll always be Pac-12.
Yeah.
I forget they're in the ACC.
And I'm sure until Texas wins the SEC this year, Mike, everyone will still think Texas is in the Big 12, right?
Yeah, it's the ones that really mess me up, and Molly will probably hate me for this, but like Nebraska
Is in the Big 8.
I always forget.
Yeah.
Big 12,
Or
Big
Big
10,
8.
Big 17. I forget.
Yeah.
And they're so irrelevant these days.
Big
that,
disappointment. Yep.
That was good.
Yeah,
I like it, Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Way
bring
to
that
go, Mike.
fire on a Friday.
Well, he's got
Yes.
to bring the fire because he's going to be heading to Tallahassee, Florida. Okay, Mike, let's talk about these injuries that are mounting up on this Alabama football team. Does it give you pause at all in regards to what this team is going to look like tomorrow and what potentially the outcome could be?
Yeah, I mean, if you had asked me for a list of kind of the most irreplaceable, indispensable, whatever word you want to use, players on Alabama this year, Tim Keenan might have been at the top of that list. And I know, like, there's probably better players. Obviously, everybody, I think, would say Ryan Williams. But I think Alabama has enough depth at wide receiver that they could take an injury there. Defensive tackle has always been a spot where you would worry about the depth this year. Getting Tim Keenan back in the first place and not having him go into the draft was something that was always viewed as like an underrated win for Alabama this offseason. That was a big deal. And so kind of with that, losing him for it's probably going to be several games is also a big deal. And I think, yes, Jeremiah Beeman has impressed the coaching staff with what he's done since last year. Had a pretty good game against Michigan in the ReliaQuest Bowl, but we talked about a redshirt freshman on the road. That's going to be a question mark. And just kind of the big bodies that they have. They don't have a ton of 300-plus pound defensive tackles to get through a game, which would concern me a little bit if you have a team that can run on you up the middle. That's a big deal. Jam Miller, probably less of a big deal, but I think the pass protection aspect for him is something that you need to look out for. They really trusted him in that area, and I don't know if they've figured out exactly what they have or what they want to do with the guys behind him. And some indications that Daniel Hill was banged up in practice this week as well. So, between Richard Young, Dre Washington, Kevin Riley, and Hill, if he's able to go, you're going to have to figure out A, pass protection, but B, like which guys are going to get the most carries. And, I think you can get through that. I think defensive tackle, though, that's a pretty big red flag.
If it is rain-soaked conditions, we get rain during the course of the game, who does that favor in your opinion?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think it could favor Florida State just because I think you would trust their running game more, whether it's Castellanos or – and it's so hard to tell because they have so many transfers every year, and they have 4 new offensive linemen this year. You just don't know how it's going to look. But Roydell Williams, let's just say if he was still in Alabama right now, probably would be starting in place of Jam Miller if Miller was out. So Roydell being Florida State's top back is probably an advantage for them. Gavin Sawchuk did some things at Oklahoma a couple years ago, so that's another name to watch for them. But I do think, just kind of based on putting on my James Spann suspenders for a minute, like it seems like the chance of like sustained rain is not that great. I think if it's going to rain, it's going to be more of a quick passing storm. But I think with that, it's probably going to come the possibility of a lightning delay if there is a storm that comes through. So I don't know if you're going to be dealing with like the mud bowl. But you're gonna have to look. It is a new field, like the brand new turf they just put down a couple weeks ago. How does that hold up if there is a burst of rain and all that is a question. But yeah, I think it's probably advantage Florida State to answer your original question.
All right, let's talk about the special teams, because that seems to be like midway through fall camp that started to percolate to become a bigger story than I think a lot of people really wanted to pay much attention to. There was good competition, but then it seemed like the second scrimmage, things did not quite go well. But then DeBoer gave everyone the indication towards the end of fall camp that things got a little bit better. What can you tell us on the field goal kicking and punting situation in Alabama?
Yeah, I think the way DeBoer put it this week was like 3 out of the 4 weeks of fall camp, you felt good about Connor Talty, and maybe that second scrimmage or that week of the second scrimmage wasn't as good. And you kind of have to take that with a grain of salt, just because I don't think Kalen's the sort of coach that wants to come out and question a player. I think we've obviously seen that on a bigger scale. I think he's obviously more of an encourager and someone who wants to kind of bring the positive energy. But I think especially in this case with a kicker, obviously the psyche of a kicker is something that's pretty important. So I don't know if Kalen wants to come out and, kind of raise questions about his kicker. I think you want to kind of pump him full of confidence, as coaches like to say. So you can kind of take some of those things with a grain of salt, but there's no way of knowing until it actually is out there. And look, that's what we talked to Connor Talty at Media Day, a couple weeks ago, and I basically asked him, like, how do you simulate what it's going to be like kicking on the road for the first time? And he's never really kicked in the game, a field goal. So he's like, I don't even know. Like, there's no way to simulate it. You don't know until you're out there. So we're not going to know until we're in that situation. And it's either going to be he makes the kick and nobody's talking about him on Sunday and Monday, but there's also a chance that he misses a kick and all of a sudden Alabama fans know his name. So, we'll see. It's definitely a question mark. Kicking, punting, long snapping. You have a new long snapper. He missed the entire spring because of injury, David Byrd. And, this is obviously a unit that's had a lot of success. They've been very clean the last few years, and we'll just have to see if they can keep that up.
Mike, who is the newcomer, whether via the transfer portal or an underclassman, earning playing time this season? Or it could be an incoming guy from the high school ranks. But who is that player for you that you're most intrigued to watch on Saturday?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of eyes are going to be on Dijon Lee at corner. I think of all your freshmen, he's probably by far the most likely to be playing in meaningful situations this year. I think it's a question of, does he start? Is he out there as one of the first 2 guys on the field, or does he rotate in? And I think that's probably going to be more related to Damani Jackson and his health, because there's been kind of hints and indications from Kane Womack that Damani's not fully 100%, and he's a guy who missed the spring too, had surgery. I remember his arm was in the sling at one point in the spring. So if Damani's not 100%, and if Dijon Lee is kind of this ascending player that they've really liked in fall camp, then it could be that Dijon Lee starts opposite Xavier Brown. But I think kind of in a perfect scenario, you have Damani and Xavier as your starters, and then you rotate Dijon Lee in. So really, of all the other freshmen, like, I don't know if there's going to be any others that you're going to be talking about and you're really going to see right away. Obviously the portal, I think Isaiah Horton's your main guy. I think we're going to certainly hear his name, but there's a lot of other portal players they brought in that I'm not even sure what exactly their role is going to be. Like Dre Washington, the running back from Louisiana. I'm not sure if he's going to play very much. Brady Dalton, one of the tight ends they brought in from Troy, not sure if he's going to play very much. So Dijon Lee and Isaiah Horton, the 2 names I would look for there as far as newcomers.
Mike Rodak joins us here. He'll join us every Friday throughout the football season here on 3-Man Front. He has his work there at Bama 247. The fans are really excited about the offense, mainly because you've got Ryan Williams coming back, Bernard's coming back. You just mentioned Isaiah Horton. You also have Ryan Grubb, and every time Ryan Grubb and Kalen DeBoer's been on the same staff, the offense has been at a different level. Are the fans anticipating too much? Is there too much pressure on Ryan Grubb's success on this offense this year, or just needs to be a tick better from an efficiency standpoint than it was last year?
I think it needs to be a lot better. Obviously there was high expectations that Kalen DeBoer would come in and kind of fix what we saw wrong with Jalen Milroe. I'm not sure if that's what happened. I think it kind of went the other direction. I'm not saying that's Kalen's fault necessarily, but it wasn't like, all right, here's this guy who just coached Michael Penix and he became a top 10 pick. Like, let's take Jalen Milroe and make him a first round pick. That didn't really happen. So I don't know if you take Ryan Grubb and then you take a new quarterback in Ty Simpson and all of a sudden you have, chicken salad. I don't know. Like we'll see. It's a situation where I think if you're trying to compare it to Roma Dunze and what they had at Washington and Michael Penix, and they had a Joe Moore winning offensive line, that's a pretty high bar. Ty Simpson, this is his first start. Like, this is not Michael Penix, who's played a lot of football at Indiana and Washington. So it's not apples to apples there. I think your offensive line, you're looking to see what you get out of your guards. You're looking to see what Wilkin Formby does at right tackle. You're still looking for consistency out of Caden Proctor. Your tight end position is turned over, and I think that's a question mark. So there's a lot of potential with your wide receivers, and certainly with the quarterback. And if you can get that passing game going, I think they're going to really ride that if they can. But if you don't block well, if you can't run the ball, like it's hard to be one-dimensional and still be successful. So, and Ryan Grubb said this a lot, like one of the best qualities they had at Washington was their ability to run the ball, because that set up their passing game and how successful their passing game was. Well, if you can't do that at Alabama, especially if you don't have Jam Miller, then, that's going to kind of limit what you can do with all that talent you have at wide receiver.
Mike, I'm not easily persuaded or influenced when it comes to my bet it or forget it picks, but I do respect and trust your opinion. What is your pick for this game? How do you think it plays out?
So I have Alabama winning 30-20 was my prediction today for our site, and which would mean Florida State covering. But look, Florida State's got a long way to go. Obviously, from where they were last year, you're trying to mix a bunch of things together and see if it works, and that didn't work for them last year. They tried a bunch of new portal players this year. We'll have to see how that works for them. But Alabama's a more talented team. I would trust their defense with the veterans that they have, even without Tim Keenan. I would certainly, if they can get the passing game going, I would think that you can do some damage with the guys you have. But it's just, how does everything else look? And are there turnovers that shouldn't be happening? Are there broken, busted plays in defense that shouldn't be happening? Like, we all saw those things last year too, but we all saw the version of Alabama that went to Wisconsin and blew them out. We all saw the version of Alabama that went to LSU and blew them out. So somewhere in the middle is kind of where I fall. I don't think it's an automatic game. I think it's a competitive game, but I think Alabama's the better team. So that's why I'm picking them to win.
You hanging out anywhere in Tallahassee?
No, as I was saying to Molly, it's definitely out of our budget to stay in Tallahassee. So we're staying in beautiful Mariana, Florida, which is about an hour west, going towards Dothan. So we're heading down there today, and I think there's actually a place called 247 Barbecue. So I think it's perfect for our website.
That is absolutely perfect.
Yes. Wear your credential in there. They'll think you're like the owner.
Yeah. They'll think we're special, which we're not.
Oh, well, that is.
You are special. You're very special to us.
Well, you have a safe trip down to Tallahassee, and let's all hope that Monday is not one of those Mondays that becomes a really long working day, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, Sunday could as well, between driving back and everything that happens there.
Mike, so, yeah, you get up. You just promised us this. You get up close to that horse, that beautiful horse. You smack it one good time right there on the hind quarter.
I'll have to keep that in mind. But yeah, it's Labor Day in college football. Labor Day weekend is always very literal.
Hey, it really is. And before we let you go, and we didn't ask you just a couple minutes ago, it just kind of hit me. I think Doak Campbell now seats 68,000.
I think so. Yeah.
I know this is a very difficult ticket to get. The Alabama faithful, you think it'll be pretty heavily, transportation wise, a lot of people coming from Alabama and parts of Florida that are Tide fans. You think they'll make it in the stadium? Or you think FSU's got that blocked off pretty good?
That's a good question. I'm honestly interested to see myself because there were some games last year. The Tennessee game stands out to me. Like, and I don't have a huge catalog of road games that I've covered, but like there was almost no Alabama fans at Tennessee last year. It was pretty surprising how much orange there was, like 99%. So I don't know if that's going to be different this year. Fans kind of perk up again and start traveling, but yeah, it's close enough where you'd figure, they should get a lot of Alabama fans, but it's also such a big game for Florida State. It's like the Florida game 4 years ago in Gainesville. Like, I don't think there's a ton of Alabama fans there just because they were so ready to have that game there, and it's not something they typically get.
That wouldn't have happened under Nick Saban. He would have chastised every single fan that wasn't there that left early in the next press conference. So I don't think we're going to get that from Kalen DeBoer.
No. Those were the good old days, right?
They were, right?
Mike used to like it when he could spar with people. I mean, he grew up under Bill Belichick. I mean, he wants to spar with folks.
Mike's probably like us. He appreciated the awkwardness and witnessing it in those press conferences.
My first game was the New Mexico State game in 2019, and that's when Saban went off about fans not staying in the seats long enough, and it was like 95 degrees that day, and they won by like 60 points. And I'm like, oh, this is interesting around here.
Now, Mike, is that the school in Las Cruces or Albuquerque that you're talking about?
Yeah. Are there any other cities in New Mexico?
I think that's it.
Santa Fe. Santa Fe would be the only other one.
Santa Fe, that's
There's
right.
3.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it. Mike Rodak.
Full circle.
Yeah.
Always outstanding work. You can follow him on X at Mike Rodak. You can find his work at Bama247. Mike, safe travels. Have fun tomorrow. We'll be working right there with you all weekend long.
Sounds good, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Mike joining us, as all of our guests do, on the Higginbotham Hotline. You deserve solutions that are built for you. Higginbotham is your one-source solution for insurance, financial, and HR services.
I'm going to go ahead and give a public service announcement to my neighbors. It's happening early in the morning, but I will be on my zero turn
without his bathrobe. No,
no.
It's
I will
tradition.
I will be on my zero turn from Artec Tractor very early in the morning. Because I got to get it all done so I can get ready for ESPN College Game Day. And then, of course, the slew of games all day long. And thanks to Jeremy and Greg at Artec Tractor, they put me in line for this incredible machine that has changed my life when it comes to cutting my grass. It's something that you get to this time of the year, you're just like, I just want it to die. Like, I don't even want to cut my grass anymore. But but having an Artec Tractor zero turn, it's made it fun. And it might sound silly to some of you, but if you have a zero turn, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But Artec Tractor, they're the ones that educated me, and they allowed me the opportunity to take a look at what they had at artectractor.com. And then Jeremy and Greg, they said, look, this is the one you need. And whether it's a Toro like I have, or a Cub Cadet, a Gravely, Bobcat, Spartan, whether it's residential or commercial grade, hey, listen, if you got bigger property, a big property like Landrum has, you might need a tractor like a Mahindra or a Bobcat. Knowledgeable sales staff. I trusted them 100%, and they pointed me in the right direction. I have never been more happy with a purchase than what I have with that at Artec Tractor. So go by and see them just north of Jasper on Highway 5, or go to their website, artectractor.com.
She thinks my tractor's sexy.
Really? Not a song.
It really turns her on.
Yeah.
We continue. Your phone calls next on 3-Man Front. This is Pat on his Artec tractor, sleeveless, winking at his wife, Leanne. Big old pitcher of lemonade sitting there on the porch. You liked that picture, didn't you? It was good. Happy College Football Friday, everybody. Phone lines are open. This is the time where you weigh in, get in your last-minute parting shots, your predictions. 205-834-9450 on the Jox text line, 800-239-WJOX. And I cannot wait. He has prepared this, I'm sure. His poetry, it is officially Alabama Crimson Tide football season, and our friend Crimson Convict, in case you missed the show last year, he writes some of the most incredible poems you've ever heard. How are you?
Guys, I wish you hadn't done that, Landry. You're going to have to give me a pass. I was just telling Molly, my son, well, he's my stepson, he had ACL and meniscus surgery yesterday.
Well, you know what? You get a pass, man. Golly.
I'm so sorry. As a matter of fact, I got about the first 4 written, but it was about opening week.
Yeah.
And it was going to be everyone's a winner, baby. But I wasn't able to get, but I will definitely have it next
Brother,
week.
no reason to apologize. Hope your son, your stepson, gets to feeling better and a quick recovery.
I told him you can't rush perfection.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
Well, I do have 2 things. First of all, is this throw shade on Alabama Day, man? I mean, you're taking a fairway wood to the stones for these Alabama fans, man. Nobody's picking them to cover.
Oh,
are you taking them? Are you taking them to cover?
Gosh, dang it, man. So I was telling I've hit, Pat, you're going to like this. I've hit my first 6 legs of a 10-team parlay.
Ooh. He is on fire. On fire.
Yeah, I hit my first 6 legs last night. I loaded, and I mean, I throw them out there. I never expect to win them, but you get with 3 or 4 games left, and you start getting some confidence about you. And I got Tech tonight -4, and then I got the over in the Sam Houston UNLV game, and I got it at 60 and hook.
That's good.
But yeah, I wasn't even going to mention my other 2 legs on Saturday. But Bama is one of them. I got them at 13 and a hook, man.
Well,
I mean, what are y'all doing to me? Why? See, just when I thought we were good, brother. Just when I thought we were good, and y'all going to start doing this on the Friday.
Hold on a second. Did you get Bama 13 and a half? Is that what you just said?
I did.
Okay.
I got them at 13 and a half earlier in the week.
All right. Well, I'm about to make you happy because the point spread's now 14. Alabama's I just looked up, and it is now.
What's the total? Is it 50?
It's still 50.
Okay.
So Bama is now a 2-touchdown favorite.
Well, and Pat, you know this well as probably Landrum too. I hate messing with the 7s and the 14s and the 3s.
Mm-hmm.
They're landmines. They just always seem to land on it.
I like a good 5.
Well, the Red Hawks were scaring me last night because that was 17 and a hook.
Hey, guess what team screwed me over last night? Crimson Convict.
It wasn't Buffalo because they covered like a champ.
Yeah.
I had them too, but who was it, Pat?
No, it was Nebraska.
No, I took fancy. What are you doing? Oh my gosh, dude, are you serious?
Yeah, I took Nebraska
so mad.
6.5.
He is so mad.
It looked great when it was 20-10.
Crimson Convict. I don't know if you heard him in the first segment of the show, and he was being serious. He lost money last night. He took Nebraska, and they are dead to him.
I don't know. I was telling Molly, she was saying my Cornhuskers. I said, well, I'm happy for you, but I had the other side. Yeah, I just didn't. I just can't trust Nebraska. Not right now.
I won't ever again. I promise you that.
Honestly, I can't blame you.
I mean, I had it in a parlay, and of course, our good friend Brian Edwards, he and I were texting last night from Vegas Insider because he has been all over the Buffalo game against Minnesota. And I took that. That's why. I know. And I was texting with him. And I said, "Oh my goodness, this looks so good right now." And he says, "Do not jinx it. Like, quit texting me."
When he brings it up 5 weeks out and that's the game that he circled,
Yeah.
you probably ought to write it down, and
Yeah.
you were smart to do so.
And so I had that in with Nebraska in a nice parlay. It would have been a really nice weekend, but Molly ruined my weekend.
Was it a 3-leg or a 4? I mean,
It was
a
3.
3-team?
It was a 3. Yeah.
The other side hit?
Oh, yeah. 2 of the 3.
Okay.
And
Nebraska, the
well,
only
he-
one.
it always works.
Brian's been all over the MAC. I mean, he loved the MAC
Oh, yeah.
for everything
Yeah, he's good.
last night.
He's really good.
Well, that's one of the ones I took. All right, guys. I mean, y'all got to pull me through. And like I said, I will definitely have you some literature next week, man. But just please ease up on the tide, brother. I got to have them. I got to have them.
All right, well, take us out to
Thanks,
eat when
guys.
you hit that big number this weekend when Alabama covers.
It's 15-6 and change if it comes in.
We love some Captain D's.
Yeah, we love it.
All right, boys. See
All
you.
right, see ya. All right, we'll take more of your phone calls. We are open up until 1 o'clock. We'll do better to forget it about an hour from now. I do have Conrad's picks. He gave me his picks before he left, so I officially have those. So we'll get into that next hour, but your calls, your texts are next. $11:32. If you missed any of our interviews earlier in the program, Wimp Sanderson gave us a blue plate. He likes Tennessee. We had Mike Rodak on the program just a few minutes ago. He likes Alabama by 10, which would be under the number. Bama's line now is 14. Auburn's point spread has now dropped to 1.5, so the Tigers are still favored. And a little bit of news for those. I know a lot of people listen to this show no matter where they go to root their teams on. And you download the Jox 94.5 app, and you can take us along wherever you go. And I know I've gotten some texts from people in Waco, Texas, and they're listening to the show right now, and we appreciate that, watching us on YouTube. The Tigers are going to arrive at the Tiger Walk at McLean Stadium at exactly 5 o'clock, and it will be on the curb between gates B and C at McLean Stadium. So once again, the Tiger Walk, 5 p.m., on the curb between gates B and C at McLean Stadium there in Waco.
Track them. Wonder how many fans Auburn will have out there.
I know a good bit of people.
Yeah, we have people texting yesterday driving through Mississippi on their way out there.
Mm-hmm. I think it's going to be a good contingency of Auburn fans.
Let's get to your phone calls, 800-239-WJOX. First, let's go to Gary. Gringo, what's up?
Greetings, my friend. Hey, what's going on today?
What's going on,
Great
Gringo?
time, well, Pat, to be honest, I'm out here doing some yard work, doing some leaf work, wishing I had me a zero turn from Artec Tractor right now.
Well, I can hook you up. Go to artectractor.com and give Jeremy and Greg a call, and they will take care of you.
While you're at it, why don't you walk over to my yard?
Yeah, well, I'm raking up most of the leaves from your yard, I think.
Why don't you take care of that? Why do you let that go over on his property? Why do you let that happen on his property?
It's crepe myrtles, man. They're
we share and share alike.
Yeah, they shed a little bit.
That's for sure.
They do. That's right.
Hey, this is a great special edition today of a Friday, Reaction Friday Day, and I appreciate you guys being on here. Pat, you said it. You took the word right out of my mouth. South Florida did make a statement last night. They looked awesome.
They did. They really did. And it's good for the program. They got a new stadium they're being built. They're raising money. So things are well right now for the Russian head coach.
He's doing well. And after that, I'll cross over to our favorite UAB Blazers. Man, I could not be more excited for Trent Dilfer in that win yesterday. What a great offensive showing.
Yeah.
The defense, we got a little more work to do there. But
yeah,
it was a win. It's the first win of the year. Landrum, you were there. Did the offense look as explosive in person as it did on TV?
Yeah, I was really impressed. Jalen Kitna, he was solid, made some great throws. He was patient. I love Javon Jackson, new running back. Wears number 4. He had 166 plus yards last night. Love what he can do. Offensive line, Solomon Beebe. No, offense, absolutely zero complaints. Defense, that guy's going to give people problems, but I think Steve Russ would be the first to say there's things to correct. But you know what? That's great when you can correct things. You got things to work on after a win.
Well, we had some explosive runs in the line that just shot straight through.
Yep.
Like passing the thread through the needle. It was really beautiful, and I'm really happy for them. And you got a big game tonight in prep football, the Iron Bowl of Hoover coming up.
That is correct. Yes.
That should be a good one.
Yeah.
That should be a real
I don't know if
good
it
one.
lives up to last year. Last year was one of the best high school games I've ever been a part of at the Met, but it should be a good one for sure.
And blowout by Vestavia over Auburn High School. I think Vestavia is going to be the team to beat this year. They are tough.
Speaking of statement wins, that was a statement, wasn't it?
Big time.
Yes, sir.
Well, Gringo,
absolutely.
I will see you a little bit later, and just bag the leaves, and you can set them there by my bushes.
Well, as you know, my neighbor lets me dump my yard refuse over his fence, so it helps build up dirt, so he won't have a washout from your yard and my yard.
Yes,
so
he does.
all is well.
All right. Well, Gringo, thank you. We appreciate it.
Keep it up, guys. Take
all right,
care.
man. See you. Gringo. Let's go to Samuel. Hello, Samuel.
Hey, y'all. I called y'all yesterday. I think Alabama's going to score 15 more points than I said yesterday. And if they do, I think the people who were fighting yesterday should give Molly a big present to make her feel better.
Okay, so didn't you say 34-0 yesterday?
Yes, sir.
All right, so now you're saying it's
49-0?
So 49-0?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Well, if that hits, please call us back on Monday. We will celebrate you.
I will.
All right. Thanks for the
Y'all
call.
for
Thanks,
having
buddy.
me on. Appreciate it. Bye.
Appreciate it. Have a nice weekend.
Hey, Robert.
Hello.
Hey, Robert.
How y'all doing today?
We're great. How are you?
Yeah, my Greenville Tigers are off tonight. Let's get ready for region play against Charles Henderson next week. So it feels more like a Saturday than it does a Friday. But I want to make a comment about the Alabama-Florida State game. Look, I think Alabama's going to win the game, but I've got them cut. Now, I've got them 31-17. Here's why. Okay, I think that this handling this Gus Malzahn offense and all the shifts and all the motions and all the misdirection and tempo is going to be a little bit of an adjustment period. I do think the Beekman, the replacement for Tim Keenan, is going to play a really good game. I like what he did against Michigan after you brought it up. But there's going to be some adjusting involved, and I am concerned about the pass protection part of the running game more so than about who's going to carry the ball. And also, if it does rain, you got to concern yourself with protecting the ball. I think Alabama's got 3 or 4 good running backs. I think that they're going to try to run the football and open up the rest of the offense. And I think outside of the 6'6" receiver Florida State's got at wide receiver, I think Alabama's secondary matches up very well. But the other concern I have is special teams. I'm more concerned about the punter than I am about the kicker because I've heard a lot of good things about Talty, except for that one scrimmage a couple weeks ago. But I think Bama's going to win the game, but I just think it's going to be a lot closer than people think. And I disagree with what Taylor Zorzor said this morning on SEC this morning. I feel a lot better about Texas's chances against Ohio State than I do about LSU's chances against Clemson because Ohio State lost everybody except Caleb Downs and Jeremiah Smith. And remember this, too. Texas held Jeremiah Smith one catch for 3 yards.
Yep.
It was the other receivers that beat them. And Julian Sayin has not played very much. And I know Arch Manning hasn't played much either, but at least he started a couple of games, and he's played in some games last year. And then on LSU, I've got Texas winning that game 24-20. And on the Clemson-LSU game, I think Clemson wins because I don't care what Matt Moscona told y'all. You cannot plug and play on the line of scrimmage when it comes to offensive line play in the Southeastern Conference, like he said. All right, I want LSU to win this game. They got to replace 4 people. Or I know they had one of I think their center came from Virginia Tech, faced Clemson a while back, but he still hasn't worked with these other 4 linemen.
Yep.
And I think to me that has to matter a lot. Offensive line is not a plug and play position. It's a developmental position. You got all 5 people going working together at the same time. And as far as the quarterbacks are concerned, I think Nussmeier's knee should be okay, but boy, if he takes a few hits, that knee could flare up again. And Clemson's wide receivers are much improved. I'm taking Clemson win a very close game over LSU.
Thank you so much, Robert. A lot there.
And a close one.
Mm-hmm. Let's go to Dave. He's in Hoover. Hey, Dave.
Hey, guys. Yeah, Pat, earlier you were talking about the 20 teams that won out of the 22 were underdogs. How many of those were on the road or at home? Do you have that stat by any chance?
I do not, but I will do some look on that. It's a good question.
Yeah, playing on the road, man, is tough. And I hear they're calling for rain in Tallahassee.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to make it even a little tougher, man. People don't realize how tough it is to play on the road. And it's, I think Auburn, especially when you've got new and rookie quarterbacks, first-year quarterbacks, if you got noise to deal with, it is not easy. So, we'll see. I do think Alabama will pull away late, once they get used to the setting, the noise, all that kind of stuff, make some adjustments. But, hopefully, those games don't get out of hand early, where you've got to play catch-up ball. But rain also helps that home team a little bit more. We'll see.
Yeah, it certainly does.
Can't wait. All right, guys.
Thank you, Dave.
Thanks, Dave. Yeah. Appreciate it. Hey, you just think about Castellanos. And goes back to Castellanos knows where he's going to cut. The defender doesn't. A lot of times that does favor the team that runs the football, and you think that's who this Florida State team's going to be offensively this year with Gus Malzahn. That's what they're going to do. They're going to try to establish a run early and use Castellanos and try to catch Alabama with some eye candy, make them make a split-second decision, and you're trusting his athleticism over your linebacker or whoever else is involved. So we'll see. The rain, though, that definitely changes my outlook.
Yeah, Mike Rodak told us he did his best James Spann imitation, and he basically said that it would probably be a passing thunderstorm or two, maybe even a delay because of some lightning, but it doesn't look like it's going to be like a full all-day washout type situation. Probably some of the stuff that we've had to experience.
And they got the new
here.
field turf, though.
That's right.
See, you got to think about that, too.
Mm-hmm.
New field turf.
Because that stuff will be tore up.
It gets too soupy. Man.
But the point spread's now gone up. Bama is a 14-point favorite. They've been holding at 13.5, but it's now gone up a half point earlier today. Well, all these great games coming up this weekend, and it is a Labor Day weekend, and you will not miss one single game if you're looking for a brand new GMC and you head to Courtesy GMC in Trussville, because they've got TVs everywhere in the showroom. You will not miss one of the top games, and you don't want to miss the great bargains that you have right now at Courtesy GMC in Trussville. I'm talking about the GMC Sierra 1500, save up to $17,000. How about the Sierra 2500 HD? Get up to $13,000 off this powerful heavy-duty pickup. Yukon XLs, save $5,000 on these top-performing SUVs. The 2026 Acadias, I drive an AT4 Acadia. They just got some brand new ones in this week. Oh, my gosh. I wanted to make a deal immediately when I went and saw Josh Gargis and Drew Lawley just a couple of days ago. They've got big-time deals on the Acadias as well. So get by and see them, all brand new GMCs. They got the best deals you're going to find in the Southeast, plus the 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty for long-lasting peace of mind. Go to their website, courtesybirmingham.com. Check out their inventory and more deals, or go by and see them. They're the best you're going to find anywhere in the Southeast. That's right off of I-459 exit 32. That is Courtesy GMC in Trussville.
We'll continue with your text. A lot of people wanting to chime in on the phone lines. You can do that as well. 800-239-WJOX. Three-man front. We roll on this College Football Friday and College Football Weekend on Jox.
11:50. We will do Better or Forget It at 12:30. I do have Conrad's picks. Conrad texted me this morning. He's on the golf course. He was asking me if there had been any more text messages from Hastings, and I said no. So maybe
I wonder if he's run out of balls yet.
Maybe that has calmed down, hopefully, because I hate to see those two fine Alabama fans that Hastings and Conrad go at it. Like
they're in Destin, right?
Yes.
He's playing one of those golf courses. I bet he's already
maybe Regatta Bay.
Yeah, he's gone through probably 2 boxes of balls.
Yeah.
On the front 9.
I hated when the lighted golf course went away in Destin.
I never got to do that.
Oh, it was fun. It was so much fun.
I would have been all over it. I've never played night golf. I'd love to play night golf.
Yep, it's fun.
There's no better place, and it's certainly a lot of fun, to enjoy sports and music than the Fennec. Invite all the Auburn fans wanting to watch Baylor and Auburn tonight. You want to watch it on some massive screens with explosive sound, and they'll actually turn the audio of the game up. You can do it there at the Fennec. Alabama fans, same thing tomorrow. They'll have the FSU Alabama game front and center on those big video boards. Usually a large contingency of Alabama fans. They get in there early and they start camping out. I witnessed it at least one Saturday last fall. You can do it at the Fennec. It's located near Railroad Park. They get an amazing restaurant menu, whether it's the wings, whether it's the burgers, the sandwiches, the shareables, or the steak and knife. You can get a great, or fork and knife. You can get a great steak in there as well. The award-winning beverages, they got a new 6-day schedule. It includes live acoustic music acts Wednesday through Friday, followed by live bands at 10 p.m. on Fridays. That should still hold true tonight, but that will crank up, I'm sure, after Auburn and Baylor conclude. The Fennec, 1630 2nd Avenue South, near Railroad Park.
I know you and I were very busy last night with the UAB game and then trying to keep up with some other things on the side in regards to college football. But there was a historic night in baseball, and unfortunately it happened against Landrum's Atlanta Braves.
The Phillies scored 3 touchdowns.
They did. 19-4 was the final score, but the headline was Kyle Schwarber. He had come into the game. He was on an 0 for 20 skid. 0 for 20. He hits 4 home runs last night. So that means that the Braves have given up 4 homers to one player twice this season. You remember it happened in Arizona to Suarez. Suarez hit 4 against Atlanta. And so last night, Schwarber, he hits 4 against the Braves. Schwarber had 9 RBIs. He now has 49 home runs on the season. How rare was last night? This is the part that, this is why I love baseball so much. Not so much that it happened against the Braves, but just the fact that every single night when you watch baseball, something that you've never seen before typically happens. Last night, a 4-homer game, that has happened a grand total of 21 times in Major League Baseball. There have been 24 perfect games in the history of baseball. So what took place last night has happened less frequently than someone pitching a perfect game, and I think we all agreed that throwing a perfect game in a Major League game, that is one of the most rare things that you're going to see. So 4 home runs last night for Kyle Schwarber. Pretty amazing.
Yeah, and I like Kyle Schwarber. He's a good player. At this point, I'll celebrate him. It happened against my Braves. We had Quantrill on the mound. I mean, come on.
Yeah, a little bit different of a pitching matchup for Schwarber than what Suarez had earlier this year, because those were decent pitchers that he hit those off of in Arizona. Not so much last night in Philadelphia.
No, not at all. But good for the Phillies. What's happening with the Mets? I've halfway checked out of baseball now because we're in college football season. Actually, I'm 3/4 of the way checked out of baseball. But are the Mets, they're still hanging around?
Mm-hmm. They're 5 games out.
Okay.
Marlins 14 back. Braves 16. Nationals 23.5 games out of first place. The wild card of the National League right now, it's the Cubs, Padres, and Mets. The Reds are 4 games behind the Mets for that final wild card. So looks like the Mets are going to be okay.
2 hours in the books coming up next hour. We got Better to Forget It coming up at 12:30. I will try to stay unbeaten on the season after going 5-0 last week. Molly Robinson will try to improve on her 4-1 season mark. And Conrad, who's not here, hind teat once again.
He was 2-3 last week.
2-3 last week. He has handwritten his picks in a sealed envelope. Pat will reveal those. Your phone calls, your texts as we get ready for a huge college football weekend.